8 mistakes women make that could lead to them losing their men. It's no secret that the dynamics between man and woman is always confusing. For some relationships, men and women always manage to mesh and complement each other incredibly well. For other relationships, it's as if two people on the opposite sides of the personality spectrum end up being together. You never know how a relationship is going to work based on the personalities of the people involved. However, there's no denying that there are fundamental differences between men and women in terms of personalities, and these differences need to be resolved if they are to have a chance in the future. It's often said that both sexes speak different emotional languages. What a certain gesture means to a woman may not necessarily mean the same thing to a man. They view the world through different lenses, and that's why they tend to see things differently. That's why there are some things that a woman thinks she's innocently doing, but little does she know that these things are harming her chances of winning a man's affections. Here are 8 mistakes women make that could lead to them losing their men. 1. A woman who's afraid of being single. If you're a woman who is just staying in a relationship because you're too afraid of what the single life is like, then that's going to be a recipe for disaster. Your man is going to notice that, and he won't be reacting well to your personal fears. You should want to be in a relationship because you are in love, not because you're afraid of not being alone. 2. A woman who chases after a man too much. The thrill of the chase is what a lot of men crave for. Of course, you shouldn't be playing hard to get, especially if you're interested in a man. But it's downright pathetic if you throw yourself at his feet whenever you feel vulnerable. Save some of your dignity and recognize your own worth. A man isn't interested in a woman who has no sense of self-worth and pride. Continue reading on the next page. 3. A woman who isn't willing to put in the work for the relationship. You should always be willing to work hard to make your relationship work. If you have feelings of disinterest and boredom when it comes to your relationship, your man is bound to notice, and he will end up leaving you. When you put effort into your relationships, it means that you value what you have more than other things. That kind of affectionate expression is important in any relationship. 4. A woman whose happiness is dependent on a man. You shouldn't be choosing to get into a relationship with a man just because the fabric of your happiness is dependent on him. Your sense of happiness and joy shouldn't rely on being in a relationship with someone. You should have other sources of pleasure and joy in life. When you invest all your potential for happiness in a man, it will freak him out and it will drive him away from you. 5. A woman who is secretly a man-hater. If you carry all your fake feminist principles inside of you, wherein you secretly abhor all men and the entire male culture, then your man is bound to notice, and he won't like that. Maybe your hatred for men is justified because of bad experiences in the past, but you have to understand that you can't generalize all men to be a certain way. Give every man a chance to change your perspective of the gender. Continue reading on the next page. 6. A woman who is too independent. Ladies, you have to understand that a man wants to be able to take care of you. Yes, you can be a strong and independent woman who goes after her dreams. In fact, he loves that you're ambitious and that you're goal-oriented. But allow him to spoil you every once in a while. Let him help you out with your problems every now and then. It will make him feel needed and important. If you don't give him that opportunity, his self-worth will diminish and he might grow disinterested. 7. A woman who has no life outside of her man. You should always have a life outside of your man. No man will ever be able to take the pressure of being the only aspect of a woman's life. You should have passions and goals outside of your relationship. You need to have close friends, hobbies, and career goals that you can focus some of your energy on. While your man can still play a very important role in your life, he shouldn't be your entire life. 8. A woman who is overeager when it comes to marriage and bearing children. Just chill when it comes to talk about the future. Yes, you can discuss the prospect of spending the rest of your lives together. In fact, it's always a good idea to plan and be prepared. But it's a whole other thing entirely to pressure your man into wedding bells and baby diapers.